Have you been in a recent car accident? What is uninsured motorist coverage? Uninsured motorist coverage is coverage that you can add on to your standard liability insurance policy that will cover you in the event that a driver that hits you is not covered by the standard amount of insurance that is required in California, which is $15,000. How does uninsured motorist coverage work? Well, it works when you find out that the driver that hit you and is at fault doesn't have any insurance coverage. Or the second most common instance where I see it is where the driver that hits you runs after the accident and it's a hit and run. Sometimes you can find the driver and sometimes you can't. In the instance when you can't find the driver, really your only recourse is if you have an insurance policy that will cover your injuries. What is the key difference between uninsured motorist coverage and underinsured motorist coverage? Well, they're typically listed the same in your insurance policy declaration if you have the coverage, but uninsured motorist is for when the person that hits you and is at fault doesn't have any coverage or you can't find that person, versus underinsured coverage is when the person that hits you may have a minimum policy of $15,000 or $25,000, yet they cause more damage than the amount of their policy. So let's say you get hit and you undergo medical treatment that costs $100,000, but the person that hit you only has $15,000 worth of coverage. In that instance, your underinsured motorist coverage will cover you for an additional $85,000 if you had a $100K underinsured motorist policy and the initial driver only had a $15,000 policy. So it's a subtle difference, but that's the difference between the two. What do you need to file a claim? First, you need to contact your insurance provider and let them know that you've been in an incident. Second, typically, especially if it's a hit and run, they're going to ask for a police report. So one of the first things that I ask my clients to do during that type of situation is to file a police report. The third thing that you may want to do is start collecting evidence related to the incident. Did you take photos of your injuries? Did you take photos of the scene of the accident and the vehicles? Do you have your medical bills and reports from the ER and the ambulance? And the fourth thing would be to hire an attorney. You don't want to pursue one of these claims by yourself because you're going to be at a disadvantage because the insurance company is going to hire a lawyer on their side of the equation. Additionally, even though it's your own insurance company, what you will find is once they figure out there's no other policy to cover you but your own, they essentially step into the shoes of the defendant, which means they are not your friend anymore. So that's why you want to get an attorney, because the insurance company that used to be on your side may end up being the enemy in the long run if there is no other insurance policy outside of your own. If you need help after your accident, please go to my website at reedlawyer.com and submit a form for a free case evaluation.